Welcome back, true believers, to Cosmic Comics Pressing.
All right, my cosmic viewers, we are back. And today we're going to go ahead and start the removal of the tape. I've already got my tray, as you can see. I got my interfacing sewing material because I don't use Hollytex or Reme paper. This right here works real good. I've used it plenty of times. If you guys are interested in what that is, let me know. I'll be gladly to let you know where I got it from and all that good stuff. But yeah, and once you use this right here, I suggest strongly to go ahead and throw it away. It's no longer good to reuse for anything. Not sure about anything, but it's no longer too good for you for reuse doing this particular type of work. So now, since I already got one on the bottom, got the cover on top. There is tape here that we're going to remove. We're going to start with that first, and then more of the tape is on the inside. You got one there, and I think it looks like two more pieces right here, and that's about it. So overall 4 pieces altogether, which is not too bad. So let's get this straightened out a little bit. We're gonna lay our material of interface sewing paper or material, fabric. Keep saying the wrong thing, sorry. I should just rename it something else, huh? Now we're gonna put our solvent, our Bestine, to soak the entire cover. We're gonna let it submerge on this for about 5 minutes. So I am gonna pause the video. That way we don't have to sit here for 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. It's been 5 minutes. We are gonna take the interfacing fabric material off, and I do have gloves on, so make sure you wear your gloves. And we are going to start the process of removing the tape. So what the soaking does, obviously it lets it penetrate the tape, so it can easily come off, or so it can come off a lot easier, should I say, because by no means is this easy. And I recommend putting anything you have to the side while working on something like this. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's coming off. We will be washing this after we dry it off. Trying a different tweezer here. Be real careful. You start to feel it just not wanting to release, just kind of wait a little bit, few seconds, let that solvent soak in there. And there it is. We got one off. 3 more to go. But we are not done. So now what we have to do is scrape off all that adhesive that's stuck on there. And my suggestion is to do it while it's still nice and soaked. And make sure you get something that's not going to damage the paper while it's wet. Getting some of it off. Let me get a paper towel. Be right back. Just because that cotton swab, it's leaving little fuzzies on it. And I don't want that to get on the paper. On the cover, should I say. And it may sound a little bit more rougher than what I'm actually doing as far as putting pressure on it to get it off. And this tape seems to be like, it's not that bad. Or it was probably not on there very long. Probably recent. When I mean recent, just maybe a few years. Okay. Well, we won't know till we actually get it all nice and dry and see if there's any actual adhesive left on it. But for now, we are going to let it be. We can always come back to it and do what we have to do. Once again, I apologize for these long videos. So you're like, how are we going to do this? So we're going to grab the bottom one. I may have to stand up for this, so excuse me if the camera or my hands get in the way. But I'm just grabbing it from the bottom one and then gently turn it over. And do this in a well-ventilated area. This stuff does smell pretty bad. I'm sure I mentioned that before. And make sure you have stuff, nothing valuable underneath it, because I'm afraid it might get damaged with this chemical. All right, so now we are going to proceed to work on the other side, which is right in front of us. We got 2 pieces right here, and then we got one down here. Let's see here what we got going on. Okay. Grab my spatula. And what I'm doing with my spatula, it's just holding down the paper. So it won't come up on me. And I'm trying to get the whole tape to come along with me at once, instead of piece by piece. And if you have shaky hands, don't try to attempt this. So we were able to get the whole thing as one piece of tape. Okay, we're losing a little bit of graphics. All right, we lost a little bit. That's not bad. 2 more to go. I can see the adhesive. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to lay this back over it, since this fabric, it's soaked in this, and kind of just let it soak a little bit more so it can keep penetrating all the adhesive and stuff. And while that's soaking there, we're going to turn this around and start on this other side. And that piece of tape, we'll let that just soak for a little bit. Looks like we got a hold of it, but it's starting to tear into 2 pieces. That's what I don't want. We're getting it, folks. We're getting it. All right. Now we just got 1 piece to go. And like I said, we'll let that soak again. Flatten it down a little bit. Let that get nice and wet. That's a good thing about this material. It just absorbs the liquid. You don't have to keep pouring more solvent of the Bestine on it. It stays pretty moist. So now we'll flip it back around and continue working on the other side, removing that last bit of tape. Grab our tools and proceed. Same process. Once you get it going, I put my little spatula underneath so it doesn't fall back on there, because it's pretty sticky, believe it or not. See how it just wants to lift that whole piece. And this piece may come off. I'm aware of that. probably the whole entire reason behind that, the tape being on here. And it's coming. You get a better bite. There we go. Success. We got all the pieces of tape off, all 4 of them. And now I'm just going to scrape off the remaining adhesive that's on the pages or on the cover itself right now. I'm not going to bore you guys too much with that. Like I said, slow and steady. We'll get that off and we'll be back. All right, so it's been drying for a few minutes off camera. Of course, you can see I got it on my grid. I think it's pretty much dry for the most part. Here are the pieces of tape. As you can see, they still got adhesive on them. These things, I mean, that adhesive, I don't know, it's just something else, but they're still sticking together. So make sure you keep these far away after you remove them from the cover. All right, so it looks like once we go to wash it, we're probably going to lose a few pieces here and there. So be mindful of that, to not lose them. Because if you do lose them, you can't put them back, obviously, right? So that one's probably going to get loose and break off, and maybe some more pieces here and there. We'll just have to put that back on there as best as we can once we get to that point. We did lose some in the process. You can see this is missing, which I have right here. That was part of the reason the tape was on this piece, because it was holding that together. But I'm glad it's one big size little, piece, all intact, and not little pieces. Little pieces can be, I think, more painful, not painful, that's not what I'm trying to say, but more stressful as far as putting them back together. Here's another little one that I'm gonna have to figure out where it goes. You guys can see that little piece there. But yeah, I was able to salvage those, and I will be putting them back once we get to that point. So now we are going to go ahead and wash this. I think it's fairly dry. That Bestine solution or solvent, it dries up pretty quick. Kind of reminds me of lacquer thinner. And I will be right back. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned.